Our next guest argues there should have been a, quote, much, much higher bar for indicting the former president because Trump is the frontrunner for the Republican nomination. With us now, Republican Congressman from Florida, Michael Waltz, who's endorsed Trump's reelection bid. Good to see you, Congressman. Appreciate it. The script here says that you are standing by Trump. You think that's a fair characterization?
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's fair.
All right. We had Doug Burgum on earlier, and he will play the full interview a little later. But in it, he refuses to talk about Donald Trump. He says elections are about the future. And I am wondering, just put aside right and wrong for a second, which is important, but politics are important as well. And how does the Republican Party talk to an electorate that we know by polling does not care about the last election, doesn't really care about necessarily Joe Biden and Hunter Biden in the Justice Department? They care about the economy. They care about national security. They care about schools. They don't care about Donald Trump's indictment.
Yeah, Leland, I'd actually challenge you on the premise of your question. I'm in my district quite a bit. It's one of the most conservative districts in Florida. And they absolutely do care about what's happening with Biden. They absolutely care about what's happening with Hunter. They care if somehow the president of the United States, the commander in chief, is compromised by our greatest adversary that's breathing down our neck in terms of the size of their military, putting a fleet off the coast of Alaska side by side with the Russians, supporting the Russians in the war in Ukraine. And by the way, could be compromised by one of the most corrupt businesses, Burisma, in Ukraine. So I think they care quite a bit. And taking it into President Trump into account, the thing the Americans hate the most, and what I'm hearing left, right, and center, is they hate things that are unfair. And what appears to be uneven justice when you see Biden, Hunter, despite multiple whistleblowers, credible FBI informants coming out of the woodwork, being treated with kid gloves. Yet it seems like everything but the kitchen sink's being thrown not just at a former president, but a sitting political candidate and the leading political candidate. And Leland, I've served in places in Africa, Pakistan, and elsewhere where this happens all the time. But I never thought I'd see it here. And this is exactly what we're seeing.
All right, fair enough. YouGov poll after the 2020 election, Trump planned to stay in office by illegal means, 51%, stay in office by legal means, 29%, did not plan to stay in office. Telling in terms of where the American people think Donald Trump is, you talked about your district, and forgive the personal privilege. I know North Florida well, not quite as well as you do. You're talking about Volusia County, which is where Daytona Beach is, Flagler County, St. John's, beautiful part of the country. Also, very conservative part of the country, and very Trumpy part of the country, and it's very different there than it is in suburban Atlanta, suburban Charlotte, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, Phoenix. I can go through the cities, but the voters that the Republicans are going to need to win the general election and win the White House are not the voters of Florida's 6th congressional district.
Yeah, fair enough. But I mean, when you're seeing, Leland, in polling, I mean, heck, just this last week, not a conservative internal poll, a New York Times poll showing the president in a dead heat with President Biden. Look, I mean, I give, if it's a New York Times poll, I think it's probably undercounting Trump by 3-4 points. So those same suburbanites care about crime, which is out of control, care about gas pumps, care about their kids being indoctrinated in school, parents being labeled as domestic terrorists, and they care about uneven justice. I just had 2 independents walk up to me this past week and say, I wasn't planning on voting for him again, but I'll vote for him now. And so
I hear you.
I think those issues are going to resonate, and those are the issues of the future, whether it's the border, crime, Middle East peace, or China. And they like what they saw under President Trump, and they don't like what they're seeing now.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.